Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode from the Multi-Tools and Blades channel. Today we're going to have a look at two historical significant knives. We have the Kutmaster Multimaster and the SOG Toolclip. Now, the reason these are two very significant tools is because at the time of the release, this Kutmaster was released in 1988. The only two multi-tools, or ply-based multi-tools, that were out there was the Leatherman PST and the Leatherman Mini Tool. And the Kutmaster was the only other really the US made tool, so competition wise it was really only the Leatherman PST. So there were multiple versions of this Multimaster that were released. This is one of the earliest versions with the single piece pivot. Now, there's no evidence really of this tool ever having been used. A few scratches here and there, but for example the knife doesn't look like it's been used at all, but it is one of the bluntest knives that I've ever seen. Now let's have a look at the SOG for a second. This one was made in Japan, and along with the micro tool clip, these were released in 1991. Now while they both feature the same kind of plier design, the quality difference between these two multi-tools is so far different it's worth mentioning. So given that the consumer at the time of these were both released had very little options out there to them, Leatherman PST, Leatherman Mini Tool, Kutmaster, this was released the same year that Gerber released their multiplier. So if you compare the tools on this tool clip, you can see that it's far more superior to anything that the Kutmaster had produced. So while both SOG and Kutmaster are both US companies, these were made in Sekishi or Seki, province of Gifu in Japan. Seki is today considered the home of modern Japanese kitchen cutlery. So even in 1991 they knew a thing or two about how to make a good blade and how to make good steel. So just like the Kutmaster, there are a couple of variations of this too. This is also a first generation. We can tell that because of the cap lifter and awl variant, whereas the later versions had the cap lifter and flat blade screwdriver. So it's very rare to find these for sale with the cover that covers the serrated blade. So if you're going to pick one of these secondhand, just make sure it does come with that part. Comparing the two tools, I would much prefer the file on the SOG. So the construction of the two multi-tools is quite different. You can see here that the SOG just uses plate steel, whereas the Kutmaster is actually folded steel to make part of the frame. Now while that's not a big difference, the ply heads are definitely different. I think the SOG ply heads are forged steel, where I think the Kutmaster is cast steel. If I'm wrong though, can you please leave a comment down below? I'm more than happy to be wrong if someone can tell me otherwise. Now none of the inside tools on these lock, which was just the style at the time. You have a look at any Leatherman PST or Leatherman Mini Tool, that none of them lock. Now, the Kutmaster was definitely ahead of its time though, because it came included with a set of 1/4-inch drive bits. That's not something that you would see with any other multiplier for a very long time. As you can see there, it attaches with a magnet. Again, very ahead of its time. Only the early versions had the magnet. The later versions of this had a retention spring. If I'm not mistaken, the next tool that came out with a similar design was the Leatherman Crunch in 1998. I'm not a very big fan of these. I prefer to have something with a bit more of an extension. I think there's just a little bit too much bulk up towards that working end of that screwdriver. Now if you're looking to add either one of these or both of these to your collection, you can easily find used units on eBay for about $50 US. So if you've made it this far, thank you for watching and hope you've enjoyed the video. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button down below, please do so now. Thanks, have a great day.